we were talking about yesterday. There was one, the street cleaners out front. We get the street cleaner twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. Um, there's one aspect of the standing meditation that I forgot to mention, and it's called the three Xing, uh, Xing, Xing. You could say the three senses or the three senses is good. When you're doing meditation like this, your mind should be on your dantian, should not be floating around or thinking about other things. So the way they phrase that is your eyes, whether your eyes are open or closed, your eyes, your internal eyes, should be looking at your dantian. Your ears should be listening to the dantian, and your mind, but their idea of mind is the heart, right? The heart should be on the dantian too, right? And uh, the for men, the right hand goes first and the left hand goes second. For women, the left hand goes first and then the right hand goes over, right? So I wanted to get that in because we're going to need it for the next move here.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I understand the eyes, I understand the ears, but what do you mean by the heart? What,
I mean the heart. But of course, it's not just the physical heart; it's the metaphysical heart. So in China, when they say you're going to think about something or you have an intention, like just having a martial intention, I'm going to push that person, or I'm going to pick up that rock or whatever. The word they use is Xin Yi. Xin Yi is actually two words, Xin and Yi. Right? Xin means heart. Yi means what we think of as the brain. So it's the heart and the. In other words, to think with anything, you also have to use your heart, not just this. It's both of them together. That makes sense?
I'm, I don't know. I mean, I'm struggling with it. Yeah, that means that you are emotionally involved.
What they really mean is to do when you are quote unquote thinking. You think with your whole body. You don't just think with your brain. You think with everything. You think with your physical body, you think with your feet, you think with your knees, you think with your heart. But they focus on the heart specifically because it's the place of courage.
Oh, I see. Mhm. Okay.
So Master Feng used to say, um, when you look at your Danshan, you're simply becoming conscious of it.
Mhm.
When you listen to your Danshan, it's becoming more sensitive.
Mhm.
When you're feeling the Danshan with your heart, you're building your own courage. Right? So it's the reason we do this is it's a developmental process. I don't know whether we'll do it today, but if later in the week we'll do a couple of meditation sessions and pay attention, pay attention to your Danshan. Um, And as you're doing that, like we'll get into a little longer, we won't do the standing meditation because it'll hurt your shoulders. We'll just do all becomes one. But stay conscious, and stay present, and stay focused on this, and watch and see if anything happens. You know, it's not like this particular thing has to happen. Just watch and see if anything happens. One of the things that happens over time is it grows, and you literally can feel it growing. Right? It grows as you relax into it. It grows in the same way that a garden grows, or a puppy grows, or a baby human being grows. It's going to grow in its own time. You can't force it. I don't think you guys are in any danger of doing this, but since I just said force it, this gives me an opportunity to mention. If you do these exercises and you force them, you will have negative results. It can cause problems, both energetic, physical, and mental. All right? So you don't force things. It's like if you're on the farm and you've got farm animals, you're better off not to force them to do things. You just develop a relationship with them and you work things out. You don't get behind them and force them. You let it grow and change and develop on its own time. That's the only way that's legitimate. Okay. So this first exercise in the series, there are 12 movements in the Hunyuan Qigong series, and the first movement is called cleansing the body. Sorry, there's a bunch of noise outside here. Street cleaner again. You probably can't even hear it, but for me, it's really loud. Um, it's called cleansing the body. Hold on a second. Let me adjust the camera. Or cleansing the organs. So in your organs, in your abdomen, there are five major organs, and you're going to want to wash or cleanse them with fresh chi. Where's the fresh chi coming from? Well, it's coming from nature, right? From the cosmos, from the rest of life, right? From the sun, from the earth. It's good, clean chi, and you're going to bring it into the body and wash the organs, wash the body, and then let it wash out the bottom of the feet. Boom. So let's go over the details of this. You should always be in the Wu Qi standing posture. That's the meditation posture. So feet about shoulder width apart, toes slightly open so your knees are a little bit open. That will open and relax your pelvis. And then your spirit goes up to the top of the head. The chi drops down into the Dan Chen. And those are flows. They don't just go there and stop. They're constantly flowing in that direction. Right? So even though you're standing still, it's actually quite dynamic. And then let your body just be relaxed and loose. And it's going to just sway naturally. Just let it go from foot to foot as it wants to go. And then look down at the ground about 20 feet in front of you. That will drop your chin slightly. Relax your chest. Don't deliberately crush it in, but just relax your chest and let your lower back fill a little bit. Right? So the body is very relaxed. And then open the palms. Breathe in the qi and bring it into the shin gong on the top of the head. And wash it through the body. Wash the organs all the way down to the knees, and then it keeps going down to the yin chuan at the bottom of the foot and out into the ground. And as you do this, pick up any discomfort or any tension in the body. That could even be as extreme as some kind of sickness or physical discomfort. It can just be tiredness, it can be a crick in your back or your shoulder, right? Okay. So, Master Feng, this is a cleansing, whole body cleansing exercise. It's the only exercise in the series where you bring chi into the body and then wash it through and out again. All the rest of them are gathering exercises. So you're gathering chi and bringing it into the body, packing it into different parts of the body. So this is the only one where it washes out again. And so the entire point of this is just to wash the old chi out and bring some new chi in, right? Um, Master Feng used to advise to do this every morning 36 times. Now, in the classes, we don't do them 36 times because we just don't have time. So we usually do it either 7 or 9 times, depending on how much time we've got. But when you practice it in yourself, in fact, you can just do just this one exercise as as a qigong exercise. You don't even have to do the rest of them. So this is just a cleansing exercise. Um, what makes it work is your mind. It's not so much your physical body, although there's a little of that. It's like my hands and my fingers are swollen up, and see the tips of them swollen up and how they're kind of swollen and red. It just happens when you really start to relax and the chi starts to flow. Of course, your blood will start to flow too. And when you're relaxed, the blood flows through every part of the body. So you relax physically when you do this, and relax mentally. Don't think about anything else because your mind has to guide everything. When you reach out, are you feeling the chi in your hands? You should feel it. And you might say, well, I don't feel anything. Well, think about the pressure on your body. 14 pounds for every square inch. You don't feel that either. But it's there and it's real. So it's like, well, you may not feel the chi, but it's there. So feeling chi is about becoming aware of something that is there all the time, just like the pressure on your skin, only you don't pay any attention to it. Right? So it's really about becoming aware of something that's already there. Can you feel it on the tips of your fingers, in the palm of your hand? The breathing techniques for this. Master Feng, I'm sure if Master Feng was teaching this class, he would say, just breathe naturally. Just breathe naturally. And the reason he says that is not that there's not a technique, but essentially you have to get the technique down so that you don't think about it anymore before you do the exercises, or you screw the exercises up. You shouldn't be thinking about your breathing. Um, but you use reverse yogic breathing, and I'll show you the pattern that I use. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Rest, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That pattern is comfortable for me. It may not be comfortable for you. So you can kind of just watch, and what will happen if you do any of these exercises really at the right pace. Should be nice and slow. Actually, a little slower than I just demonstrated. Nice and slow. Your body will assume a breathing rhythm. You don't even have to think about it. So just breathe naturally for a while. Pay attention when you're doing this as part of training rather than actually doing it. Pay attention to what your body is doing, and then go, okay, well, it's doing this, so I will do that. You can become a little conscious of it. Just don't get distracted into your breathing, because your mind needs to be in feeling the chi and in moving the chi. I'm sort of exaggerating the sounds of my breathing. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Good. Um, Once you get a pattern that works for you, that's comfortable, where you don't where you're getting enough breath, it's a really good deep breath, but you don't feel like you're rushing it, you don't feel like you're inhibiting part of it. It just feels totally natural. Then what happens is you ride on the breathing. The breathing becomes your horse. All right? So listen. You can do it with me, but listen. So what I find myself doing when we do one of these is I'll usually do two or three really at the beginning, two or three really deep breaths. Not because I'm trying to make myself do a deep breath, I'm letting myself do a deep breath, if you see what I mean, the difference. And then it'll start to moderate. Again, I'm not trying to moderate it, it just moderates itself. So, part of what is happening in these exercises is you're oxygenating the body. All right? By um, in China, sometimes Qigong is described as a breathing exercise. Right? So just like yoga, a really important aspect of it is your breath. So you never force it, you never try to make it do something, but you can be aware of it and let it do what it wants to do, right? So if you're just starting out in the morning and you do three, right, and then uh, maybe it just wants to really take a huge lungful, right, and then really big, really intense for a while. Maybe it doesn't want to. But if it does, then let it go with it. And then after that, it's like, okay, I got oxygenated a little bit. Now I'm just gonna be much more gentle, much more meditative, right? In other words, you're sort of witnessing yourself and going along with it. So it's almost like thinking of your energy body and your physical body as a partner. And you're going, okay, you're going to take precedence. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to watch what you're doing and I'm going to facilitate what it is you're doing. Does this make sense? Okay. Um, that's a really important principle, actually, not only for Qigong, but for Tai Chi too, because Tai Chi is a defensive art. It's not an aggressive art, it's defensive. So Master Zhang always used to say, he would always let the other guy move first. You take your swing first, and then I'll respond to it. So, and then he would say, and he'd work this out in English. You no move, I no move. You move, I move faster. All right? So there has to be a sensitivity. This is why they use the ears as a metaphor for its sensitivity, right? Because it's not the eyes. It's not actually the ears either. But I think what they're trying to get at is don't rely on your eyes. There are other senses uh, that are hidden in the human body, and that some people develop and some people don't develop. It's not good or bad, it's just what is. But if you're going to do Tai Chi, you're on a path to developing those senses. So it's just like the 14 pounds of pressure on your skin. Uh, you've already got them. It's not like Tai Chi's going to give it to you. You've already got it, but you're not aware of it. So it's a matter of gradually becoming aware of it and then cultivating and working with it, kind of partnering with it. Um, and some of those senses are extremely subtle. Have you ever been with another person, maybe your spouse, maybe your child, maybe your parents, and you've done a Vulcan mind meld where it's like your eyes are closed, but you see them looking at you, and you know they see you looking at them. It's very subtle. It's very easy to overlook it, but in fact, we do that all the time. Right? It's something like that. It's becoming aware of a sense that well, it's an internal sense, not a physical sense, but an internal sense, which is why Tai Chi is called an internal martial art. Um, uh, Now, as you do this sinking, right, you're washing it through. But how your physical body should feel is it's like the sand in the hourglass is literally running down your arms, and you can feel it, and then it makes the tips of your fingers very heavy. The same thing is happening in your body. It runs down your legs to your feet. It's literally like, I mean, it literally feels like your feet are filling up with a warm liquid. And then you bring it back to the Dan Shen and do it again. if you just use this exercise as a essentially a standalone exercise, it's a form of meditation. So we'll work on that a little bit tomorrow, and then we'll actually shut up and actually do it. Okay? All right, guys. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.